All right, hi everybody. Ryan back again here for part 2 of this new fifth wheel replacement. So we did one video on the removal and cleanup, which I forgot one thing to add in there, so I'll throw it in now. But this part is going to be the reinstallation, and hopefully it'll go quick and easy. And I have this done because it's kind of nice here today and I got other stuff to do. So what I didn't show you guys on the cleanup was cleaning up these holes here. So I just took a 3-inch wire wheel on a cordless drill here, and I got a little extension for it down at Menards for like 10 bucks or something. It said these little wire wheels here, a coarse one, were it was like $3 or $4, so not very much for that, but need that extension on there. I didn't really need one that long, and like a 6 or 9 inch would have been nice, but all I had was a 12 that would actually take a round shaft, I guess, on the wire wheel there. So I was able to just kind of hone this guy out here and get all the rust and scale out of there for the most part. Got the bushings here. I've separated, got the rubber part and the neoprene part here. And so I'm gonna put this, use some fluid film, which is a lanolin-based lubricant. Stuff's pretty expensive. I use it a lot up here in Northeast Ohio, like on my vehicles and stuff. Like if you got places where it's starting to rust or whatever, it's good for that. But it does. It's supposed to be one of the best lubricants for corrosion protection and all that. But like I said, it's pretty expensive. Actually, it's like $12, $13 a can like this. And my Napa had it on sale for like $9 the other day, so I bought a couple cans. I use it a lot on stuff around here, like on my fertilizer spreader and stuff like that for the farm. It's good for that. So I'm gonna lube all this up. We're gonna put this together. I've already got my fifth wheel pre-positioned up here, and I didn't want to use my bare forks because there's a lot of components that could be damaged. You got that little grease line over there, then these springs and stuff. So I just didn't want to set that down on my forks and risk tearing something up. So I'm just going to spin it around, and then I'm just going to flip it over by hand into position, hopefully. Then I'll put the pins in it. And it has these little pads in here, so it should, in theory, just kind of lay where it needs to go. And I'll push the pins in and put the keepers and the bolts on, tighten everything down, and hook it back up to the truck, and hopefully we'll be done with this. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started here. We'll put these bushings in, then we'll turn this around and lay it down and see what happens. Okay, so I'll move this guy up here. Hopefully it'll slide in easy. Nope. Get a paper towel or something. Okay, that's in. We'll go and put this guy in. I should put a little bit of that on there, not a whole lot. And this stuff will crack, so I'm gonna be kind of careful with it if you can, just so we don't break it. So I already got the other side in, so. So I'm gonna have to put a jack or something in here to hold that in as I do this. So let me get that kind of rigged up here. He said the other side just pushed right in by hand, so it's always something. Okay, so that method is not going to work on this side. So before I tear something up, I was able to push this back out with a big socket here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in through this side and use this 12-ton bottle jack. If you lay it on its side or with the pump on the bottom, you can actually use these laying down on their side. So I'm going to use a block of wood and press it in from that side with nice easy pressure instead of beating on it with a hammer. Like I said, the other side went right in, so I wish I would have did a video on that, but you're going to get a little bit more of a experience here on this one. So I got this. I'm going to spray some more of that lube on here. And I'm going to push this in as far as I can by hand, which is almost all the way there. I just got like 3/4 of an inch there on that side. But I don't want to break that neoprene sleeve in there. So I'll set this up. And should drop my crescent wrench. So I'm gonna tighten this bottle jack up. I'll try to get this centered as much as possible. All right, now we're gonna pump away and see what happens. There she goes. All right, nothing's broken, everything's flush. So ready to move on to the next phase of life here. So like I said, when something won't go, find another way to force it. Like I said, I just was shocking that with a hammer. I just worry about like cracking this material in there. That's why it's nice if you have a nice steady pressure without shocking it, it won't tear anything up most of the time. So we'll get all this stuff out of the way. All right, so next thing I'll do, I'm gonna reposition the camera here on the other end, and then I'm gonna turn this fifth wheel around and attempt to just kind of spin it around and just roll it over up onto these trunnions, or whatever you want to call them, base plates. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna spin this fifth wheel around. Hopefully I don't drop this on myself, because I'm home alone right now and nobody. So if I do, somebody call 911 or something, maybe they'll show up. This thing is a little heavy. I think that's somewhat centered. If I don't fall through this rickety pallet. All right. Up, I can get under it. Yeah, and that's what I was afraid was gonna happen. Actually, I'm gonna back this out just a hair. And you know what they say, lift with your back in a jerking, twisting motion. Okay, that side looks good. Oh, that ain't good. That rubber's kind of hanging up over here for some reason. Okay, now we're down there. I'm actually, hate to do this, but I'm gonna pick this back up and spray some of that lubricant on those ends of that rubber. So just kind of trying to pinch it in there. There we go. A lot happier with that. Yeah. That looks good as well. Okay, I'm gonna change the camera around here, then we will put the pins in and be about done with this. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna do is put the pins in and then put these keepers and bolts in. I was looking through the installation procedure. I didn't see any specified torque for those bolts. They're a 1/2-inch coarse thread and they're the zinc coated, it looks like, so grade 5. So I'm just gonna use standard torque. They do have Loctite, and like I said, they got a keeper and all that as well, so I'm not too concerned about them coming out. So I got my torque wrench out here. I'll show you in a second. Let's say we're gonna put the pins in. They have some provided lube for those pins. It looks like the same type of stuff that fluid film that I'm using the most. So stick the pins in, put the keepers on, put the bolts on, torque them, and then we're gonna grease this thing up and hook the trailer back up and make sure everything works right. So we got a pin here. Yeah, I think it's just fluid film. It smells just like it, so I think it's the same type of lubricant that I was using. So tap that back a little bit. Yeah, I think that's the exact same stuff. Screwdriver. Pretty lined up there. Okay. Okay, so I got a Mac Tools digital torque wrench here. Yeah, it makes things nice and easy. And it's getting windy again. Where is that one? All right. And next thing is gonna just bend those tabs over. So let me get a little hammer and we'll do that real quick. Okay, so the last thing we gotta do here is bend these metal tabs down. So you may have to tighten the bolts a little bit more to get it to where that angle's right for this to fold down on both sides. So I had to move this one maybe like a 16th or an 1/8 of a turn to get it where I needed it at. And then I'm just gonna use a heel bar here to get them started. And I can just use a hammer and a big screwdriver to go the rest of the way. There's one. All right, now we just do the other side, and we'll go ahead and grease it, and we'll hook it up to the trailer here. So go ahead and do that. All right, so the last thing we're gonna do is grease this guy up, and I guess, well, second to last, and we're gonna hook it up to the trailer, obviously, and make sure everything's good to go. So got the other pin in on the other side, put the keepers in, bent the tabs down. Everything went together pretty smooth. This actually flexes now. My other one was just like stiff, it wouldn't move. Or if it did move, you'd have to get on it and jump on it. So, plus the jaws and everything else are wore out. So, go ahead and grease this guy. The tab comes off. Open that up. And that's one tube. So I guess you guys don't need to watch me sit here for 10 minutes and grease this, but that's what we're gonna do. I just greased that inside. I'm actually gonna pull it. I wanted to grease it. It's locked right now. So I wanted to grease it so to suck that grease in. Yeah, so it pulled it all in there. So, and I'll grease all that, grease the other side, then we'll hook it up to the trailer here. So. Okay guys, so the fifth wheel's on, got it greased up pretty good here. Used 2 tubes of grease, you know, for an initial greasing. Got down in the jaws and everything real good. There's one thing on here, some of you guys might have saw it earlier or seen it earlier, that kind of bugs me about this whole thing, is this tag right here. So as you see, there's a big crinkle in it. And somebody didn't have the attention. This is an American-made product. It's kind of frustrating that somebody put that on there like that and seen that they did it and didn't cut that popper back off and straighten it out and do it right. So I mean, that's a attention to detail, I guess, we have these days. So that's one of those things, you spend that much on a product, you know, an American-made, you think there'd be a little bit of attention to detail and quality, but so that's a little bit aggravating on this. But anyways, so it's on there. We're gonna go ahead and hook it up to the truck here and then see if it works, and we'll finish up. All right guys, so that's taking an old fifth wheel off and putting the new one on. So everything looks pretty good back there. Might have to do a little bit of adjustment on it, but I'm gonna hook it here again and hook it back up again a couple times to make sure everything's working correctly and make sure there's no need for an adjustment or something like that. I mean, it should be set at the factory with a kingpin tester and all that, you would think, but like I said, with that, the way that that little plate was put on there, you never know. So we're gonna check that out. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell for the updates. Give us a thumbs up, like the video. You know, on this channel, we're doing the Landstar stuff, owner-op stuff, truck maintenance, and all that good stuff. Starting the new maintenance service, on-site maintenance business, service business as well. So there'll be more to come on that. Yeah, all that type of stuff on this channel. If you're interested in the farming stuff, you know, we kind of put that stuff on a different channel. To get it to the right people who are interested. So if, we'll put a link for that channel as well if you're interested in farming stuff, old tractors, working on that, and animals, and getting ready to plant sweet corn here today if it don't rain on me. So we'll put a link for that. Check that one out too. That's channel if you're interested in that stuff. But again, we appreciate all the support, the comments, and all that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.